Hey guys, let's take a look at this Noco Genpro 10x3 onboard battery charger. So I ended up getting this battery charger because I'm moving to all lithium batteries, and so I needed a battery charger that would charge lithium batteries for me. What I had previously on my boat was a Minn Kota. Um, Minn Kota charger, and the charger was great. I think the charger actually was like a 15 amp charger, so half the output of this one. But it was a good charger in a sense. And I used that charger. It was a dual bank charger, and I had it with charging my two lead acid batteries. One was the electronics battery, and one was the starting battery. I ended up going to one lithium battery for my electronics and one AGM battery for my starting motor. So I ended up getting rid of that charger and buying a Noco Gen Pro, same battery charger, but a two bank one. And so, the Minn Kota one was actually a pretty decent charger because those chargers shared the amps between the banks. So in other words, when one battery is fully charged, it'll divert all 15 amps to the second battery, so it'll charge it quicker. This charger doesn't do that. It's each 10 amp output is per bank. So let's just say this battery is charged completely. It's not going to utilize any of these 10 amps to charge these other batteries. So that's kind of it's unfortunate that this one doesn't have that capability, but this charger puts out 10 amps, which is a lot. I'm using 100 amp hour batteries, so even if I was to run them down to zero state of charge, it would take about 10 hours charge to bring them back up. But I don't really see myself ever draining them that much, so maybe I'll drain them down to like 60% or something like that. So getting them charged back up to 100 amps should be quick with this charger. This is a really good charger though. It has a couple different modes. It has like a repair mode. You can select the different batteries that you can utilize this with. The leads on these on these banks are 72 inches long. They have M10 eyelets. There's a couple different modes, so you can charge a standard lead acid battery with this. You can charge an AGM battery, you can charge a lithium battery. There's also a repair mode, and there's also some other features such as like over voltage and low temperature detection, things like that. The reason again why I went with this is because I needed one to charge my lithium batteries, so I will be replacing my current one with this one. The other nice feature about this charger is that it also has I mentioned it has the repair mode, and it has like a forced charge mode. So with lithium batteries, when they are shipped, they're usually shipped at about 30 to 50% state of charge, which means that that battery is basically at a low state, so it can be shipped. But then as soon as you get it inside your house, you have to charge the battery up. And a typical charger will not recognize the battery because the voltage is so low. It's like somewhere around like 3 to 5 volts. So a regular charger will not recognize the battery. It'll think that there's no battery or that the battery is completely dead and you need to throw it out. Whereas here you have a forced charge mode. So if you select that forced charge mode with the lithium battery, it'll start charging that battery. And what happens is it'll wake up that battery, that BMS will come online. And then as soon as it is online, you can just literally select the standard 12 volt lithium mode, and it'll start charging that battery for you. So let me show you guys how this box looks on the other side. Let's see if I can open this one-handed and show you guys what exactly is in this box without it completely falling apart. So here's kind of how you will receive this charger. Here's the box. You'll get a couple mounting screws, two mounting self-tapping screws. You have like a book with some accessories, things like that. Then here's just some, I think, like safety and warning and user guides, things like that. Then like literally here's all the wires in like this box here. Let's toss that around, and here's basically what the charger looks like in the box. Here you can see these are all the leads that I was mentioning previously. Let me get those out of the way. So here's all the leads, and you can see that each one of these leads for each bank has a fuse on the negative and the positive terminal. So that's nice. There's no, if there's something happens, it'll blow the fuse. Here's what the charger looks like. I mean, it is a hefty charger. I think when I checked the weight of this, it was like 12 pounds total. So it is kind of a heavier, bulkier charger. Here's the back of it. But it is a really nice charger, I will say. I'm gonna install this on my boat. Sorry guys. Here's the charger out. I will be installing this on my boat, and I'll do a quick installation video as well of what it looks like. I do have a 10 by 2, same kind of charger currently, and I'll put this one next to that one so you guys can see what it looks like. And I'll also do a quick video of what it looks like when it's hooked up to some batteries. Here's a couple other chargers that I have that are capable of charging lithium batteries. So just kind of for comparison to that Noco, I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what other chargers I have and what scenarios I use them for, and why the Noco is the one that I went with. So the biggest and most important thing is that Noco charges at 10 amps per bank, so it's a very powerful charger. It does work with lithium batteries, and it does have that ability to wake up the lithium batteries, and also it's waterproof. It's meant to be on a boat, and so that's why I went with that one for charging my boat batteries. I also have this battery tender charger, which is it's a really nice charger too. The only thing is that this one puts out 4 amps, and so it has, it can charge 12 volt, 6-volt batteries. It can charge AGM, just standard lead acid flooded batteries, and it can charge these lithium batteries. This is a nice charger. I bought this one initially to charge like my lithium motorcycle battery, and I figured I could charge just some batteries I have laying around in the garage. The cool thing about this is that these battery tender chargers, they use this what I'll call standard plug. I don't know exactly what this plug is called, but this what I call a standard plug works with a lot of different connectors, such as these these alligator clips here, and they do have a fuse right in line, and same kind of connector. And then I have a bunch of these end terminals or connectors, whatever you want to call it, some with ring connectors, and some with all kinds of different just ends. And so what's cool, that's what's convenient about it, that I can use it with all these different plugs and stuff like that. And I have one wired on my motorcycle battery where this just connects to it and you're ready to go. The Noco one uses a similar connector, but I mean the concept is similar, but it has a different shape. And so in other words, if you're going to go with Noco, then you're going to need to buy kind of different accessories and stuff like that. But I had a bunch of these, so that's why I went with this one as well, for just charging stuff around the garage. It is 4 amps only. Wish it was like 10, but I mean, you can buy a 10 amp one, but you're going to pay a lot of money for it. The one thing that I dislike about this charger, and it kind of tells you like the functionality and how it works and stuff like that. The one thing that I dislike about this charger is that it doesn't have the ability to recognize the lithium batteries when they're at a low state of charge, and it can't recognize lead acid batteries either when they're at a low state of charge. So there's no what I would call like repair mode or forced charge mode. And you know, when you get a brand new lithium battery and this is your only charger, you cannot wake up that battery because it's not going to recognize it. Or if you have a, you know, low voltage lead acid battery, you won't be able to like force charge with this. Chances are, if your lead acid battery is low voltage, it's probably dead anyway. But I did have one that I was able to bring back to life. I mean, I'm sure it's not 100% capacity, but I do have one lead acid battery that I was able to bring back online and charge it, and it was you know, and I still have it laying around the garage as like a spare, in case I ever, you know, need to throw it in like a lawnmower or something. I don't know, and it's been sitting in my garage for 2 years, so maybe I won't need it for anything. I also have this this other battery charger that I bought from Amped. It's a company that makes Amped what is this? Amped Outdoors. So it's a company that makes you know, like lithium batteries as well. And this charger outputs 14.6 volt at 3 amps. So this charger is kind of similar in a sense to this, except this one can do 6 volt, 12 volt, it can do lead acid, it can do lithium. This one can only do lithium, and it puts out 14.6 volts, which is what the lithium batteries need, at 3 amps. So this one's a little slower at charging. It is also much smaller. But this charger does have the capability of waking up those BMSs that are, you know, that are in a battery that's got a low state of charge. And the end terminal is the same as that battery tender charger, so you can use it with different accessories. I keep my charger just like this, and so you might ask, well, what do you need all these chargers for? So again, the 3-bank one is more towards fishing. It's going to be permanently mounted on the boat. This one's just around the garage in case I need to charge up a battery. I'll put this on my motorcycle lithium battery to maintain it. If that battery gets depleted, it won't wake it up, so I'll need to either use this or something else to wake up that battery in order for it to start taking a charge. This one I bought when I realized I couldn't wake up my lithium battery after it was drawn down. So I bought this charger, and now I use this as a standalone charger for my live scope, which basically has this type of connector on it, so I can just plug this in at the end of the fishing day and get it charged. My thought process was that I'll just be able to use this charger to charge my live scope battery because it is the same terminal, but since this one doesn't have the ability to recognize those batteries at a low state of charge and reset that BMS, I quickly realized that this wasn't going to do anything for me, so I ended up getting this one. So those are some other chargers, just to give you an idea of what else you know I'm using. Okay guys, check this out. I got so many wires here, chargers and batteries, it's hard to tell what's going on here. So I'll try to explain in just a second what I have going on here. But again, I do want to showcase you know, the abilities of this charger to you know, to perform, and you know, why I chose this battery charger. So right now, what's going on here, and I'll try to kind of explain as best as I can, so just follow along and we'll all get there. So here's each bank. This is bank 1, 2, and 3. It's even indicated here with a 1, 2, and a 3 on the buttons here. This is the AC in, so basically this cable goes to the AC outlet, which I haven't connected yet. Let's maybe work backwards kind of to make things a little simpler to understand. So bank number 3 in this situation here is going right here to this lithium battery. Again, you can see it's hooked up positive terminal to positive lead negative to negative. They have the fuses. So let's look at this second bank. So this is bank number 2, and here's the lead to it, and it goes right over here across all these batteries, and it goes to right over here to this Pro Guide AGM battery. It's a group 31 battery. As you can see, negative hooked up to negative, positive to positive. Here you go, and it goes there, and that's the AGM battery on bank number 2. And then bank number 1 is where it gets a little complicated, but like I said, just bear with me and I'll try to explain what I have going on here. So first and foremost, here's all 3 lithium batteries that are on bank number 1. In case you're wondering what is going on here, basically these are new batteries that I will be putting on my boat. And they will be powering a 36 volt trolling motor. So they will be wired in series to create 36 volts and power that trolling motor. Right now, for you know, the savvy people or the people that are aware of, you know, different wiring configurations, you can probably tell right away that these batteries are wired in parallel. They're in parallel because all the positive terminals are connected together and all the negative ones are connected together. So this is basically a 12.8 nominal voltage system that's 100 amp hours times 3, so 300 amp hours altogether. The reason why I have it like this is because prior to this video, I had all these leads connected, all 3 of these leads just connected to these 3 batteries, and I topped them off completely. So the AGM battery was disconnected and this other lithium was disconnected, and it was just simply powering all, it was charging all 3 of these batteries. They were not connected in parallel yet, so they were all separated, and they were being charged by each one of these banks. I topped them off and then I wired them in parallel and I left them alone. The point of doing that was that these are brand new batteries, so I needed each battery or all 3 of them, so this entire system, to balance the voltage between the 3 batteries. So when I charged them individually, for example, this one was at 13.4, this one was maybe at 13.31, this one was at, you know, 13.27. So the voltage was uneven across all these 3 batteries. So then when I would wire these in a series configuration, for example, this one would drain faster, and maybe this one would charge faster, or maybe this one would drain faster, charge slower, vice versa, whatever, because the voltage is uneven in these batteries. So per the recommendations of the manufacturer, I wired them in parallel and let them sit for, you know, about 2 days, so that way the voltage could balance out across this whole entire system. And if I check the voltage across all these terminals, it's the same voltage. So let me do that now for you. Okay, so again, got a lot going on here, but let me show you guys. So I have the negative lead of that multimeter on that negative post there, and let me touch this to this positive post. So you'll see it's 12.81. Now let me go all the way across all 3 batteries. 12.8281, there you go. So all 3 batteries are at 12.81. One battery is at 12.81, and any of these other batteries that I check across the terminals, they come out to 12.81. So let's try doing this one. Okay, so now I'm just checking 2, and there you go. You see it's 12.81 whether I check 2, 3, or 1. So they're all showing 12.81 voltage. So again, that goes to show you that this system is balanced. And you know, I could also put the negative lead from the multimeter there and then a positive here and show you guys that this battery is also 12.81, and so is this one. But I will not do that for the sake of this video. So that kind of explains why they're wired like this. And you know, again, the proper way to do this is to make sure you run equal length wires between all these batteries, and you are supposed to use you know, I would say you have to use a very thick wire gauge, the same as you would use for what is currently installed on the battery. So you know, I would recommend the same gauge wire as the one that's connected on your boat in your batteries. Obviously, I'm using a much thinner gauge wire here. I believe that this is I think that this is an 8 gauge wire, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that this gauge wire can handle something like I think it can handle like 30 amps before you see any significant voltage drop. Keep in mind that before I connected these connected these batteries in parallel with this wire, these batteries were topped off. So the voltage difference between these batteries was maybe like 0.01 or 0.02. So there's not a significant difference between the batteries. And you need to ensure that all your batteries are charged fully before you connect any, you know, in series or in parallel, because again, it's going to try to move the charge around between these batteries. But since I knew that there's a very small difference between these batteries, and I know that this wire can handle about 30 amps, and it's just a short really run, as you can see. So I wasn't too worried about it, but the proper way is to use a much thicker gauge wire. And again, anytime you do anything like that, make sure that you're using batteries from the same manufacturer, that they're manufactured within a similar time frame, that they're the same capacity, same voltage, and that they're fully charged before you even try to connect anything. So, you know, again, just use common sense, and you know, and make sure you're staying safe doing these things. But with that being said, so now that we covered what's going on here, I just want to show you guys that this is the lead for bank 1 on my charger. And what I have here is I have it wired across the entire system, so across these 3 batteries linked in parallel. And so what happens is this bank is going to send, you know, 12.8, or it's going to start climbing, because I noticed the Noco Genius has like a specific charging profile. So it'll keep charging until, you know, 14 point, I think 6, to make sure that these batteries are topped off. And what I did is I wired the negative one to the negative terminal on the far end battery, and then the positive on the close end of the batteries, or on the first battery. So that way the charge current goes, you know, across the entire system, instead of, you know, maybe prioritizing this battery or that battery or this battery. And so all these wiring schematics are in the book that comes with the batteries, so you can you know, kind of you know, get a better idea of what's going on here. But this is just kind of in layman's term explaining what I am specifically doing for in my situation here. And so basically what I'm trying to do here is these batteries have been balancing for a couple days. I will be installing these in my boat in the next couple of days, but I do want to first and foremost show the capabilities of this charger in charging this singular system here, and charging this AGM battery, and then charging this lithium battery on this completely separate bank. So let me take this lead here, and let me plug that into the outlet here. Okay, it's plugged in. The charger should power on. And you can see bank 1 is lithium, bank 2 is showing lithium. We will change that to AGM, because that is an AGM system. And then bank 3 is lithium. It's the correct setting. Let's double check. Bank 2 is showing 12 volt AGM, and that goes to my 31 AGM battery. That's correct. And then bank 1 is set on lithium, 12 volt, and this is the bank 1 goes across this system here. So now I will just let these batteries charge and you know, show you guys how this lithium charger performs. So one thing you'll notice is that it's charging the batteries fairly quickly, and the reason why it's doing that is because these batteries, I mean, they were just resting. They're, you know, they didn't really have you know, they weren't used, they weren't depleted. And so now you see that it goes into like this maintenance mode for this lithium system. And so it's basically just trying to top off the charge there. You'll see that bank 2 went into a maintenance system in this AGM battery, and that's good as well because it's just maintaining that. And then bank 3 is again in this maintenance mode because the battery is topped off. So that just goes to show you how this Noco Genpro 10x3 3-bank charger works with different batteries, different modes. And I will do a follow-up video of installing this in my boat. So looking forward to the next video, guys.